Hey, I'm Decathlon Gamer, and welcome back to Foundry. It's episode number 8. Here is how the factory is looking. We're going to get a quick summary video here once again of how things are. But first off, yes, what you're seeing is real. I can fly. I have a jetpack now. It makes getting around the base so much easier, and the base has grown significantly in the last week. It turns out that the game really has stages, phases in which you kind of go through things. It gets real complex real fast. It gets real difficult to make much progression as a single stage, a single step in the process can take a whole lot of other steps to feed that particular step and make it function. So let's get you caught up and I can get back on with my other projects at hand. So we were working on mining. That was a pretty regular thing that we were doing as we needed resources. We needed to feed industry. So let me show you what we've done to feed that industry, as we had just leveled up and picked up a new technology. I have used that new technology only once, actually, because I had those fuels for industry since then. So most of the work we've done of late has not been of this variety. Last time I was showing you that deep dark snake that is the mine down there. Well, let me show you the next mine. For one, a production center just down there. Here is our raw material, and then we have this guy. Still not sure what that is? Let me give you a little more first-hand account. So we have gone back to the old method of just digging straight down a hole. And I dug 2 portions to that hole. In one, I placed a ladder. In the other, I brought down building blocks to bring power down into the hole. Then, once throwing in a platform down here and getting some miners up and running, a simple pathway to an elevator. So we have a freight elevator now, hauling our resources continually up the mine shaft, and I didn't even have to dig out the elevator shaft itself. It does the work itself. You place a bottom, you place a top, and then a minute later you have yourself a complete mine. The mining process, especially deep mining, has gotten significantly less complicated. The funny thing is, like I said, I've used it once. I have shored up a few of our production centers. This one was for the bars, the steel bars. But as we fly back in towards the base, which there is a fuel cost, by the way, for the jetpack, and I have plenty for it. And I do have a production to be able to get it done. I want to start with what we have right here. And this is the, as of the moment, not yet complete. We're very close. We're into yellow science. All of the green science, so the 3rd tier science, is 100% done. The research, nothing left. So we're onto that 4th tier. We've got yellow unlocked. We can't do anything else until I start producing yellow science. I've already done 2 of the 3 components. So back here behind is a very large network to make a large amount of circuit boards and energy cells. But the 3rd one, get right up close here, there we go, the Thermalite bar. This is significantly more complicated than anything we've come across so far. It feels like it's about 1,000 steps to get Thermalite bars. After setting this up and having to go search and figure out what the Thermalite bars are, I've been working on getting it ready for a while yet. There's a few things in here that I've done to just help in a more kind of general sense. If I can find one of them down in here. It's a very busy area. But advanced machinery parts. And actually, here's one that I could probably use. So this is Assembler's Level 2. So we've gotten into advanced ones. The previous version had a red color to it. You can see that all of our processors are yellow. I have not a single red one left. They've all been upgraded to that second tier. There's a lot going on here. A lot going on in this base. But this big area, besides, you know, the couple, like I have circuit boards, besides those couple of things that you can get, all of it is for that eventual yellow science, which the Fermilite bar is all that's left. So to get to the Fermilite bar, have to start dealing with something else entirely. And let me find our little guy. A lot of this has to do with C3BB. I've already done the jetpack, so we'll get through this one.
A jetpack? That idea might just take off, but it's a bit up in the air if we run out of fuel. Getting this thing was always part of your plan, huh? Let's hope this jetpack gives us a real lift. We are still lacking energy cells. The missing link before we can build construction-related buildings, which should allow us to engage in space station repairs.
There's the key one.
I see. The goal is clear then. We need to get our hands on energy cell technology.
Okay, this is the one for production, for progression.
We've done it. We've figured out how to make those energy cells. Oh, I can't wait to uncover the mission command mystery.
So before I go further with it, the story on what's going on. Okay, so we have our giant space station, and apparently within the story, within this week that I've been playing, like I said, a lot of time has gone by to do what we've done. Without giving away too much detail, if you play the game yourself, I want you to kind of figure it all out. But there's been issues with the space station and some surprises. There's been a few plot twists in this one for sure. But we have got to repair that thing. The Fermilite bars, they're up there. That's where they're located. They're not down here. So this is something we have to get through trade with the space station. So we've had to establish connection with the space station. I won't bother with the robot right now, but this, a very large warehouse. Those 4 black ships are transport ships, and the yellow one is a construction ship. I've had to construct all of those. Once I finally had all of them, our first modular building has been constructed by construction robots. I did not construct it myself. I placed the base for it, the resources, the construction, which is these black boxes here, that went to the warehouse. The transport ships moved those construction elements to here. And then the yellow ships, the construction ships, with small robots, drone robots, were able to construct this modular building. And what it is doing for me right now is that is a large scanner. So I've gone from having just now, because it's only just been constructed, this area is going to start expanding relatively rapidly in terms of my knowledge of what's going on. In fact, assuming it's... No. See, it's constructed, but it's not yet connected to the grid. No wonder I haven't seen an expansion on the map. I need to get power, high voltage power to it. It looks like there's our connection point there. With power now connected, this is up and running. So long range scanner. It scans 100 chunks in each direction. I've not boosted scan speed. I have regular scan speed for this one. Power consumption's high, it's 3 megawatts. But each of these module buildings has variations on how you construct it. And for the distance module, I maxed that one out. It's got all 5 module pieces. Speed module, I said, you know, I'm not playing the game that fast anyway, so it's okay that it operates slowly. The HVG and the scan module are the base components that make it work. But all of those required lots of construction materials, and those construction materials are, what's coming right out of this particular area. So this area was all built to support the construction, and then the warehouse and our transport ships, construction ships, and now this module have all come from that. And like I said, I've already prepped to get the yellow science going, but in the meantime I also added one additional area, and that is this big zone here. And what I'm doing with this particular zone is making the construction ships themselves. And I've finally pieced that all together, and it's already full. So the construction drones are being mass produced. I'm not even 100% sure that I actually needed to have that, but it's done. So with all of those phases complete, what we're going to be looking at from here is the transport ships. One of them is going to start opening up pathways to the space station. I know what it is. I know what's missing. Long range scanner is the one just behind me. We've got one more to come up with. It's the radio tower. The radio tower is going to connect us to the spaceport, so that's the next project. Now that I've got all these other projects up and running and complete. And with all the materials in hand, construction of it is very quick. Alright, that is the base for our radio tower. We need a grid connection already. Now that we have the tower, we need to go into the modular planning building, as this is that big next step on picking out what modules you want. So there's a couple minimums and maximums. So the radio tower power connector and the radio tower top that we're going to have to get in and choose. But then we can also have up to 3 middle parts. So I'm assuming what we have here is, the power connector. I don't know which side I want that to be. It's probably this side I want that to be. And then this is going to, nope, that's another power connector. Okay, well there's a middle part. From here we're choosing whether we want another middle part or a top. I don't know what the middle part's going to end up doing for us, but we might as well make her nice and tall, right? 5,100, that's easy. So starting construction, once that's done, then we have a place to connect to, and that's why it was not yet available. You have to go through the planner and decide what it is you're going to do with it. And now we have a giant radio tower that should have the power connector right there. So that'll be easy to connect up once done. Also, with that now complete, what we should be seeing here in just a moment is our, yes, already. The transport ships have already taken off. So what you're going to see from them is, one by one, they're going to come down to the warehouse to gather the materials. They'll turn around and see how it's now taking materials in because it's full, and then it's going to launch off again as the next one comes in. Then they're going to go to the destination, the construction site, which is literally right next door. Could have been clear across the world though, and it's going to deliver those. We're also going to start to see nice air delivery there. We're going to start to see the construction ship airborne here pretty soon. And there is that construction ship showing up on the scene now that materials are there to begin work, and it's going to deploy its construction drones. That's the process. Once that one is complete, we will finally be in a position to begin delivery of supplies to the space station, and in exchange will be those Firmolite bars. It's been a long process, but very, very happy to be in the final phase of this long process. so that we can get back in and get that yellow science on the go. One thing that I have been doing, and it's turned out to be a very successful model for me here. One thing I've been doing is I'm actually working in reverse. I've been going, okay, if I want yellow science, I need space and I need to connect it up. So knowing that I already had 3 spots here occupied, going to the outside it's not going to do good because you can't reach the middle ones that way, so I needed to come in on this side. So I started with intakes here and then bringing that out and going, okay, I need 4 lines evenly and then I need to start at 1. So I split that up, set that all up, and then ran 1 line. And I had already picked out this location back over here. So then I just ran my 1 line to the new platform that I had placed and gone, well, if the line is here, I want the product to be nearest to this edge. So I set up the product here and figured I wanted to match what I was doing with the others and do 4. This is actually a slower one, as it comes out with less anyway, but I'm not as worried about the 3 previous ones, right? It's about this science now. Each subsequent tech level, like each subsequent science pack is going to be kind of the new barometer on how things run. But decided I was going to do 4. Did the math on what it would take to do 4 at a time and break that down. So then, once I had this in place, I started on the backside and started with inputs. Decided how to start splitting this one up evenly, and right now there's still a vacancy, right? There's still 1 more spot that is available for those firmer light bars, and I wasn't sure what to do with those firmer light bars. They still have openings, but there's space. There is space. And I've gone low with 1, I've gone regular height with 1, and I'll be able to go high with the third. So splitting that up elevation wise has made it a lot easier to move things in and out. And I set up the circuit boards first, and I set them up by going underground. And putting them underneath made it a lot easier to move, and this is their end point. And so I set those up, and then again did the same thing. Started working in reverse. Worked to that space, inside of it to get the things we needed. And this whole area is the electronic boards. Bit by bit, you grow out, away from it, and draw it back. But literally each stage, like when I wanted the energy cells, I set them up to connect. I built this area up first, got to there. Once I realized, okay, I'm good, I have space. I just need them a little bit away. I didn't even have to get rid of that flower. I just went ahead and ran them at the back edge of the platform, knowing that I needed 5 to work backwards. And it's working really well for me. That's going to go ahead and do it, though. I have a feeling that's going to take a little while to finish. And at the moment, I don't think I have any other big projects that I want to do in the short term. This is all about that one now. There might be a little thing that I want to construct and be able to have in hand and not have to make it myself all the time. A couple things like the conveyor balancers, the second lane loaders are definitely 2 of those things that I use fairly often and still construct by hand. So I'd probably like to use what's left of my starting space, this area here, to try to fit those in. As you know, over time I've added others like the conveyor slopes. But looking at the all research, that was all the initial stuff, the early science stuff that we got done. Since getting into the green science, which was here, we've finished all of that green science. That's your 3rd lane, escalators that I haven't even used, greenhouses that I haven't used, the olemite processing, which is essentially like oil. A lot of these 2nd, 3rd tier perks for your robot are done. A lot of the ones that are open now all have to do with yellow science, which of course we're still working on, right? But we unlocked that science pack. We've, as I said, done all of the green science capabilities. But as we went down this chart as we made our way through that. As we got into that jetpack and whatnot, we're set up for that next phase. And from like smelting, a sales warehouse. Well, shoot, isn't the sales warehouse is going to go back and forth. The tower should do enough. Into the new stuff, right? This yellow. I wish there was more of a color differential between this and that. It's like a soft green and a soft green. Just a little darker. A little hard to tell at times, but the character upgrades, looks like the yellow is going to get us most of what's remaining there and get us down to the last couple. Same for the elevators and the mining efficiency, and then the next jetpack, the best fuel source, the ignium fuel rods, and it's definitely going to get us going down because here's the 5th tier science pack. And the 5th tier science pack only unlocks a handful of things. So realistically, this 4th science pack is actually going to get us most of the way towards the end game. But that's going to do it for this summary video. Thank you for tuning in. I'm Decathlon Gamer. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Have a good one. Be safe out there. Bye for now.